So I will ask you a simple question. How many of you can reuse the water which comes out of your washing machine? It's fully loaded with dirt, of course, and chemicals, right? Can you reuse them? Can you put them to your plants? Your plants will die in 3 days, right? You can't reuse them for any purpose. Let us start with the mission statement. We believe in a world where every single person has access to clean and safe water. It's not just safe water, it should be clean also. So you can see all these visuals are all from the news articles which have come recently about the Bengaluru water crisis, and other cities are also waiting to catch up. So we are marching towards day zero. Day zero is the time when the water supply, the public water supply will become zero, literally zero. You won't have any water flowing out of your taps. The municipal or the corporation water taps will go dry. The government will give up, the local municipality or the corporations or the city councils will give up, saying that I don't have any water to supply. You take care of your own water resources. I'm sure most of you would know that Cape Town in South Africa was on the verge of declaring day zero, but somehow they survived. Fortunately, they implemented a lot of measures to save water, and they just escape from it, but it's just an escape, right? It's not, I would say, a permanent solution. Maybe if we don't solve it in a permanent way, another 1 or 2 years it will catch up. So let us see what is day zero. So Cape Town starting, it's already near to day zero. Then we have other cities across the globe like Mexico, Sao Paulo, Istanbul. All those cities are heading towards. Even Beijing is not spared. Mexico. Bangalore, we already facing the music. This is just some few samples of what is happening at global level. So this is not a local problem. This is a global problem, and it needs a solution at a global level. So what does clean water do to us? It enables a lot of things, starting from health, access to food, local economic growth, education. In fact, the world's civilization, if you see the Harappan civilization, the Indus Valley civilization, the civilizations Egypt, everything started around a river, right? Because water is the lifeline of after air, water comes the highest priority. So all civilizations started with water. They flourished with water. Let us not allow it to perish with water. That's the main purpose of this talk. Let's look at some statistics about how the global water scenario is poised. 25% of the people across the world do not have access to safe drinking water. Either they are compromising, or they're taking contaminated water, or they are spending a lot to drink water. That's ground reality. Nearly 800 plus children die every day due to waterborne diseases. This is due to non-availability of clean drinking water. 25% of the healthcare facilities have no water, and 50% of the world will be stressed by 2025. We are in 24, just we have a year to go. Just we are absolutely very close to the calamity. That's the global situation. And let us see what's happening in India. India, the freshwater situation is really bad. 18% of the global population lives in India. We all know that. But only 4% of the world's freshwater resources available in India. There's a huge gap of nearly 14% shortfall. The last fact, which is very important, 90% of the water, fresh water, is taken away by agriculture for cultivation. So this is Bengaluru for you. 22 Bangalore had massive floods. Companies were closed for more than 3-4 days because of the flood. But just 2024, not even 2 years, it's just 1.5 years down the line. People are on the roads fighting for water. That's the situation. Drought. Funny thing which was circulating during that time, the lakes are saying, as the lakes are speaking, you occupied my place, now I have come back to your place. It's a hard fact, but that's the reality. Bangalore, which was the city of the lakes, is no more city of the lakes. It's a city of concrete jungle. So here a premium car is floating in the water, but on the right side you see tubes are floating in the water for sucking water for their basic daily needs, right? 20 liters is what people are getting in a lot of areas for drinking in Bangalore. Whole family gets. That's the situation today. So it's very strange, right? On one side flood, on one side drought in the same place. It's very extreme sort of a situation. So what is the solution? Let's look at some of the solutions, what we can do at our level to mitigate this or solve this, or at least postpone the problem. If we cannot solve in some areas, we can at least postpone it by 20, 30, 50 or 100 years, so that our next generation also does something to keep postponing it, right? Because already the damage is done. So why this problem is happening? We all know this. Government problem, we'll say government problem. Concrete jungle, every city is becoming a concrete jungle. Lakes are getting encroached, destroyed. Shortfall in rains are failing. Global warming, the temperatures are going up. Population explosion, yeah, cities are growing by 30-40%. So where do we get water for so many people? Yes, all these are real problems, no doubt about that. But please understand, we should stop the blame game. See, unfortunately, the water crisis in Bangalore, more than a subject of discussion, has become a comedy piece. If you have followed the Instagram and Twitter, in fact, even it applies to the Cape Town water crisis, right? There were so many humorous things being discussed on that rather than constructive solution. I'm not saying humor is bad. It's very important. Unless we have humor, new ideas will not come. But, making it completely, it doesn't help, right? And people were just finding fault with others. They're saying real estate is the problem, government is not solving the problem. So it became much more of a political fight, real estate fight. But my suggestion is, let's stop blame game, because whatever is happening, they will happen at different levels. We have limited influence. I am not saying we don't have influence. We have limited influence. Wherever we have influence, let us influence. But wherever we have control, let's control it. That's going to be my appeal for all of you. Right? There may be hundreds of solutions which all of you would be able to suggest, but in my perspective, which I would like to put forward to you, I see 6 areas where we all can work at our level, right? The first is we can do advocacy and awareness. That's what we are doing now, right? Vishwa Talks is organized this wonderful seminar, and we are reaching to a few participants about this, creating awareness. Rotary is also doing a wonderful job, and I am part of doing a lot of such awareness programs through Rotary. So that is one thing we can very easily do. It doesn't cost you money, just a little bit of time and some effort. Rainwater harvesting, something which has been talked about in Tamil Nadu. Government made it compulsory some time ago. People implemented half-heartedly in independent houses and flats. But it's doing well, but there is no consistency, there is no commitment. Recycling of water, stop polluting of water so that we can recycle and use them. Consuming eco-friendly grains, technology solutions. So let's dive into the solution and see what we can do from our perspective. Coming to advocacy support, advocacy is just creating awareness in a very passionate way. Fundamentally, if you look at fresh water, which we consume, clean and safe water, there are basically 3 sources. I'm just leaving away the ocean water because that's not usable. So the 3 main sources of water which we have is, first is rainwater, river water, and groundwater. There are a lot of organizations which are working on all these 3 levels, right? Rainwater, river water, and replenishing the groundwater. We can support those organizations. Like, for example, to start with, Rotary is doing amazing work, especially with rainwater, river water, and groundwater. I'm also associated with an organization called Isha Foundation, who will be doing amazing work with respect to water, especially in the Karnataka belt, and results have started appearing. Just for people who are not aware of what work has been done, awareness campaign was done for Rally for Rivers and Kaveri Calling across the country and across South India. And now the focus is on the Kaveri River, which starts somewhere near Mysuru and runs up to the Tanjavur belt and the Bay of Bengal. So lot of trees, farming-based, agro-based forestry is being developed across the Kaveri belt. But the benefit of doing that is, if you have trees on the river belts, when it rains, the water doesn't rush into the river and flows to the Bay of Bengal or the sea. The trees retain the water, they release it very slowly, and throughout the year the water supply is there. The benefit is, even in summer the rivers will be flowing, number 1. Number 2, because the flow is very slow, the groundwaters around the area will get replenished, and the farmers also get income because they are using commercial crops across the river beds. A lot of policy changes are being brought into that, and also a campaign is going on to save the soil, because soil is the place which holds the water. If the soil is dead, water cannot be held. It's all these are interconnected. Okay, the environment is so tightly coupled, so we can't see things in isolation. This is something we have to remember. Unfortunately, I've seen a lot of initiatives happening in isolation, right? If you don't just address water, if you don't address the trees, plantation, or the river flow or the groundwater or the soil, and it will not become a complete solution. So soil should hold water. So soil should have microbes, soil should be replenished, soil should get back its life. So, and the rivers should be regenerated. So it's sort of an integrated mission. I'm not doing anything in that. I'm just doing advocacy, right? Please spread the word, at least in your family circles, in your office circles. Spread the word and try to replicate whatever the great work these organizations are doing. This is something minimum we can do. There is a photograph on the screen. I don't know how many of you know this person. The name of the person is Anand Malligawad. He is now called the Lake Man of India. He is in the mission of rejuvenating the lakes of Bengaluru. Anand Malligawad is doing amazing work. There are other organizations also doing, like I know one organization called Bhumi, who are doing restoration of lakes in Bangalore since very long time. So a lot of great people doing lake rejuvenation, because lake rejuvenation is so crucial to recharge the groundwater so that we don't get into a borewell water crisis. Even the municipal traps dry out, we can depend on the borewell waters, right? And EFI is one organization I have seen. I've literally volunteered for them. They have done amazing work especially in the areas of Chennai and in restoration of lakes. And there is one organization, Rainwater Club, in case anybody wants to do rainwater. If you have an independent house or a small apartment where you can take a decision to do rainwater harvesting or saving the rainwater for recharging the groundwater, all these things you can voluntarily support or follow and get ideas and spread the word. This is something which we can all do very easily. And next comes stop water pollution. See, what's happening is, due to whatever we do in our day to day, we call dawn to dusk, right? From morning to evening, whatever we do, it's all chemical based. Our lives have become a chemical based lives. What is happening? Everything is running out in the water. The water around us is polluted. So recycling the water, reusing the water is becoming a big challenge. We every day wash our clothes, every day take bath, right? So we are polluting our groundwater, we are polluting the lakes, we are polluting the rivers. Everywhere there is pollution. So I have started this campaign and we are doing a lot of work on this. Dawn to dusk eco-friendly life. So start your day with a bamboo toothbrush. Use, instead of flat sheet toothbrush, don't use a toothpaste. I use powder made out of dry ash. We call it as the panchagavya, made out cow based actually. You can also use a lot of Ayurvedic powders are there. That comes in a paper pouch. You can save plastic also. Plastic toothbrush you can throw and use bamboo toothbrush. For taking bath, we use Medimix, Lux, Rexona, also premium brands. I'm not against any of these brands, but they all use SLS and paraben. Even our shampoos are having chemicals. So I will ask you a simple question. How many of you can reuse the water which comes out of your washing machine? It's fully loaded with dirt, of course, and chemicals, right? Can you reuse them? Can you put them to your plants? Your plants will die in 3 days, right? You can't reuse them for any purpose. Then moving on, dishwash. We use Vim, we use a lot of floor cleaners, toilet cleaners, all are chemical based. Laundry bars, soaps, then synthetic dress, single-use plastic bags. All this, if you can avoid them, and now there are hundreds of options available on Amazon. If you go to Amazon and say eco-friendly cloth wash, eco-friendly dishwash, you will get hundreds of options. They declare what is there in that. You can buy them. The wonderful thing about that, friends, is after using them, the water will have dirt, no doubt about it. The dirt comes out, but it doesn't have chemicals. It can be reused for various other purposes. It doesn't pollute your groundwater. It doesn't pollute your drain. It's absolutely clean. You can just remove the dirt. You can use it for reloading your groundwater, like rainwater harvesting. You can even recycle your water which is coming out of your house after cleaning washing machine or your kitchen sink or bathroom, because you're not using chemicals. Just put some layers of filtrants to remove the dirt, and then they get recharge your groundwater. So as good as that. Every day we use close to 1,000 to 2,000 liters of water for a small family. Just imagine, instead of they going into your city's sewerage, they going into your own flat or house underground, you recharging the water and use it when the crisis comes in summer. That's wonderful, right? For that, the first step is you should stop using chemicals, because you can't charge the ground with chemical water, because that's what is going to come back to you if you recharge your water.